everyone. This is Kev, and this is much later than I usually go on, but I'm not gonna make any excuses for this. I was dragging ass, and um, I would apologize, but due to me being a human being, I'm playing that card. So anyway, welcome to the show for those of you who choose to tune in at this hour. It is Sunday, and we got Smoke Show Sunday coming up much later on. And that show will be much earlier than this show. So, thank you for, like I said, thank you for those who stopping through. Shout out to the replay gang on both channels that this is broadcasting on. The main channel, Black Men Being Brutally Honest, and the backup channel, BMBBH2 and Kev We Trust. So for those of you who are subscribed to both of those channels, I appreciate it. Of course, the second channel is the backup channel, but I have thought about, stopping the lives over there and just making that a channel more dedicated to something else. But their channel is there just in case something happens to this channel over here. So if you are watching from the second channel, you could do one or two things. Either you could stay over there or you can migrate over here to Black Men Being Brutally Honest. So I do thank everyone for their continued support of this channel. Let me give a shout out to the membership. Those of you who pay a monthly fee. Let me shout you out real quick. We got Greg, we have Aaron P, we have Phil Brad, we have Days, Indigo Flow, The God, Gold P, D Rock Dan, American Negro, D Scott, Andre 416 Reformed, Black Light Revelations 2, and Mr. Me Too. Thank you guys for your continued support month to month. Really appreciate it. Um, yeah, and shout out to the moderators and the people who support the channel on a regular basis. We got RPM in the building. I see you down there in Art the Stall. Yeah, and they know that this is pretty late, but this one won't take very long. Just want to ask. This is a narrative that I hear quite often, and if you are a content creator or a viewer or a spectator, someone who watches these spaces that make up this virtual space, you will hear, if you're a person who believes that there's too much entertainment in this space, then I will just respect your opinion. And just have the continued it sounds like I'm whispering. I mean, shoot, I think I have much sound clarity now, and there's no need for me to yell and scream. Then I got people sleeping in the house too, and my voice projects quite a bit. So yeah, just trying to you know keep it at a acceptable level around here. Have to be considerate of others, of course. So yeah, D Scott was good, man. Good to see. Yeah, but I hear this narrative about, you know, uh, entertainers and people want to entertain. They don't want to be informed. They don't want knowledgeable conversations. And my opinion of that has always pretty much been like this is a space of that is a mixed bag. Uh it's not something that is supposed to be about one thing and one thing only. And many detractors and of the space would say that is about the space, whatever you want to call it, the manosphere, the black manosphere. I would recommend black manosphere to separate us from those the cuck union on the other side. But uh Shoot, people push what they want to push around here, and I think that if we're going to be a viable space, we need to push what we're really about. But at the same time, if people refuse to accept it, why keep fighting that fight? The only thing we can do is voice our points of view over here, and whoever chooses to listen, hey, like what it is, chaos reign, and we got Damie King. Oh, okay. I just got this image up here just for a visual. That was several months back, I believe. No, actually, that was last year, like early last year. Creed 3 was coming out, and Michael B. Jordan ran into an interview with an old classmate of his, and he reminded her that y'all used to call me a cornball, and social media was divided. And you got Jonathan Majors in the picture, which is quite symbolic, seeing what's going on, with him recently. So I just thought it was a good image to have up there. So, but the important thing is the message that I'm trying to send tonight. That it is okay to want different things out of this space. What up, Ray Hama? What's good? Yeah, man, because she was looking kind of crazy out there, man. And that's like, what else have you heard from this chick since that moment? I mean, wherever she's from, wherever she's real famous at, they probably hear from her every other day. But where do we hear this? But where do we hear this person? What has she done lately? Besides get famous for a couple seconds from Michael B. Jordan, reminded her of how you used to treat dudes like me, which um is people would say that's kind of revenge porn for incels or whatever, and it really isn't. It's just that this is called, hey, let me remind you a little bit of something. Don't be on my dick now. I was a cornball back in the day. Now, who wouldn't want to do that if you were treated as such? I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, because success is always the best revenge. You ain't even got to say shit. Treat them like you don't know them. Shoot. But there was a complaint, like, on in events like that, that the black stars and celebrities always pass by the black interviewers and go straight for the white ones. I guess for more prestige, you know, not no notability, because, they have more reach. And it is what it is, man. Motherfuckers will sell you out for extra second. But, you know, Michael B. Jordan isn't like that. I don't know if you recognized her immediately. She started trying to get his attention, so he went over there. So one thing I can say about somebody like a Michael B. Jordan is he is willing to give a black publication a spotlight. People don't think about little shit like that. But let me get back to whatever I'm talking about. Supposed to be talking about this entertainment thing. Yeah, it's okay to want to be entertained if you watch this space. Seriously. I mean, comfort wherever it comes from. People just don't want to admit it. They just use this little knowledge thing as a virtue signal. And it's okay to have knowledge. Nobody's shitting on anybody that has knowledge or an education or anything like some of these guys do around here. Nobody's doing that either. Nobody is criticizing anything else. But if people want to be entertained, let them be entertained. But it seems to me like what we're entertained by is what's really should be talked about here. Because I mean, if you talk about guys over here trying to be entertainers, I mean, well, I'm just gonna tell you that we really suck at that. We really suck at trying to be entertainers. I mean, seriously, we're just people who talk, people who share our experiences, um people who are real, I would say. The most authentic that you'll ever see a motherfucker is probably gonna be on YouTube. Seriously. Y'all may say that these are people pretending to be things they're not. See, here's the thing about people who say shit like that. They want to be all in your business. And that's no good. That's no good. You can't be all up in my business. So we have to kind of withhold things from you. I'm not going to tell you what my exact address is, but I am going to use my personality to convey a message. And if that message is factual and accurate, what the fuck does it matter if you don't know every detail of my life? You know how much money I got in the bank account? Because let me tell you something, man, it's a very disappointing figure. Why should I give a damn about how much you got in your bank account? Shoot. Give me something that'll keep me engaged. That's what I look for in a content creator. When not look when I'm not reflecting on what I could do as a content creator for the people who tune in to this live stream or other live streams I've done or other videos or whatever they decide to do on this channel, engaged in a community tab, which let me tell you something, man, it makes me very humble. It really does, man. The fact that you can get one person to pay attention is very humbling. You know, people need to think about the little things, you know, be grateful for what they have because you never know. It could be taken away the next day or so. You know, a friendship that you long for could end. A job that you've been working at and trying to climb the ladder could let you go suddenly. You know, anything, man. Your favorite car could die on you for the last time. Nothing's guaranteed, man. So why are we shitting on the things that bring smiles to our faces? Depending on what that is. Yeah, but the concept of entertainment as far as these spaces go, what I see people entertained by mostly, I would have to say is dysfunction. Dysfunction, and I don't mean like reflecting on the bad stuff that goes on in a community and calling the shit out like it should be called out and be treated as cautionary tales for people who are not the wiser. I'm talking about dysfunction as in watching meltdowns, like reality shows and people fighting and, you know, but as far as this pertains to this space, in these spaces, it's a bunch of people jabbing at each other, going back and forth, making threats, dragging their family members into it. You know, you saying "fuck you" in more than 20 ways. Yeah, that seems to be what entertains people. And what I'm saying is if that's the entertainment, then guys on this side of the, green really suck at that kind of entertainment because most of the content creators that I know that are in the Black manosphere don't welcome that kind of behavior. Some will stand up for themselves when some are on that bullshit, but for the most part, it's not yelling and cursing each other out and making threats that no one will ever follow through with or trying to dox to embarrass people and their family members. It's mostly not like that over here. People put out these little rumors talking about the back chats, the back chats, the back chat. Fuck the back chats. They're trying to keep me from growing. Fuck that too. People will rock with you anyway. That doesn't matter. What a motherfucker try to pull in the back. If people are weak enough to follow a person that, you know, tells them not to screw with you or anything, screw them motherfuckers, man. Who cares? You have to be compelling enough of an individual to get people to want to stick around. What up, Louis Conyer? So So hey, I mean, shit, we got to start like before a lot before many of you around here are saying stuff like this, man. You got to be able to define it. Shoot, what is entertainment in this space? What focusing on celebrities, focusing on the viral moment, cracking jokes, laughing, doing things, saying things to keep things interesting and fun, rather than gloom and doom, arguments, threats of violence. Like what? But see that all that shit that I see a lot of people that complain in this space are entertained by is the very things that we talk about that is wrong with this community. A bunch of people fighting. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. We was cornballs. What up, Damie King? Shoot. And I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna take very long with this. I mean, I appreciate y'all for coming through. I know it's real late on a Saturday. Some of y'all got to get up and go to church tomorrow. You know, I might get dragged to church again just so I can listen to this preacher talk about patriarchy. Which I mean, if you want to piss me off, say some bullshit in church. Because see, the thing is, you're observing a bunch of people that's actually listening to that stuff and taking it seriously. This man want to bring up patriarchy. I guess he figured that, wine drinkers, you know, uh, are his congregation. But, people like that should also understand this is why black men don't really fuck with the church no more. Some will. Some will act like the handcuffed simps that they are. Sad thing for me to observe. I mean, seriously. But what is entertainment? What is entertainment in this space? What is entertainment? What is being entertained? What is who is the entertainer? Who is the guy that when he speaks and 10 minutes into it, you're just rolling on the floor laughing and it's just like, wow, you're just really filled by what this person is saying, you know, saying some memorable shit. Like, who is the entertainer in this space? It ain't me. I mean, I can say some stuff sometimes, but I don't consider myself to be that much of an entertainer. But that's in someone else's observable eye or whatever. I've said a lot of things about myself that people did not agree with. Yeah, I told somebody one time just off the random, I'm an evil Decepticon. And they was like, "No, you're not, Kevin. You're more like an Autobot." And I was like, "Well, I didn't expect them to really." Okay, I just walked off. It's like that's what I get for doing little tiny experiments. But yeah, like, what do y'all think in the chat? What do y'all think? Undercover brother lovers on the screen, Kev. I don't know if Cat Williams is right. Yeah, what up, weather? Jonathan Majors was trying to silence that white chick. He, oh God, it's like only a few people know the truth. Jonathan Majors, whatever that bitch's name is, and the cameras, because it looks like he was trying to get away from her. Like, don't And then we got to come up here and we got to tell brothers time and time again, not to hook up with crazy chicks. You know, one of the big reasons is the world will always see it as your fault. But if you have a black man telling you that, something is wrong with it. Something is wrong with you doing just about anything, even entertaining people. Am I entertaining? Please say no. I don't want to. Please don't say, Kev, you're entertaining. Pay the toll for the acting role. Man, look, that's a toll they can keep. Man, I don't get it, man. Shoot, when is a black man ever gonna find peace in anything that we do? I mean, I can find peace in sitting in a room by myself, but that's cheap. To isolate yourself and not be around folks just to get a little peace. I mean, shit, I should be able to get peace and motherfuckers be around me. Cause that's just what it is. Kev, I pay you good money to not make me laugh. Step your game up. Oh shit. Oh boy. Yeah, let me see if I can tone it down a bit. You know. Yeah, yeah, I'll tone it down a bit. Hey guys, you should get into trucking. First step is make sure you have a good driving record, like really good. So if you got a DUI or you got too many tickets, you can fucking forget it. Then enroll in some CDL classes so you can go ahead and get your CDL license. And I hope you got some good credit because the only way you're gonna drive a truck is if you get a job driving trucks. I mean, but the best route is to get your own truck and start your own company. I have a cousin that has started his own trucking company and he drives maybe 2 days a week and he maintains a pretty good lifestyle. So I mean that's evidence as far as people who I'm closely related to, in trucking working and everything. But with any job like trucking and tech and I don't know, maybe dressing up as Ronald McDonald for the McDonald's corporate fucking picnic. Shoot, you should never get the big head in doing anything. Congrats to you, cousin. Man, you were about 15 years late. That man had that for a while. Shoot, for a minute. Like, yeah, so I'll tell him, people are telling, are big upping him for his accomplishment. Yeah. Shoot. Also read some books. Got my CDL in 2014 aside from the Navy. Best decision I've made. So shit, I'm late as hell. Well, just with the congratulations. I mean, he did that years ago. I mean, trucking is very beneficial. I just want to come up here and instead of trying to come off as an entertainer, give you guys something you can use. See, there's only one thing with that. I don't treat people like they're just jobless bums when they come and watch this channel. I just like D Scott just got through saying that he got his CDL back in 2014. Shoot, most of the people, if not all the people who watch these podcasts and live streams, they already got it figured out. So where you gonna go from there? When once you assume that you're dealing with an intelligent bunch. You're gonna still pretend like they're not intelligent or try to act like you're more intelligent than they are? Or you're just gonna be a regular ass motherfucker, just like I do every fucking time I hit that live button on StreamYard. Yeah. So, all right, let's talk some shit. Yeah, I enjoyed doing my little reaction Wednesday this past Wednesday. I hear somebody is not exactly happy about it, but who the fuck cares? Um, Please tune in for the next Reaction Wednesday. I still don't know who, as of right now, I still don't know who I'm going to do a reaction on. It may be positive, it may be negative. This is not some type of chasing for clout. I'm just giving my perspective on some of the things that I hear from various content creators and how they represent us, because, like it or not, they are representation, how they represent themselves, what kind of narratives they are pushing, how, is their perspective skewed or is their perspective on point, That's how a reaction is done. And, if there are content creators that are local to this space that, I feel as if need a reaction, yes, they're gonna get a reaction. That's just what it is at this point. Let's start talking about it. If there's a big old detractor of the space, let's hear what these people have to say. After all, since these people won't come through to the smoke show, hey, let's react to the things that they say. So I will have evidence of the exact thing that I speak on this channel. And hopefully I don't get any community strikes because, some people can't handle being criticized. Everybody always charges black men with this responsibility of fixing everything that people continue to screw up. The very people that keeps asking for these solutions. And how many times do we have to say it? And how many times will I tell black men, hey, don't go and try to fix something that they keep destroying? But it's a waste of time. Save the cooperative. Do what is the absolute best and most efficient for all of us if it comes down to that. Because believe me, every other group identity will be looking out for theirs. I'm not saying that, oh, blackity black, oh, you know, because the very people that y'all cape for. No, I ain't gonna say that. Oh God, I'm not gonna say that. Let me not go into that area. D. Scott, this space doesn't tell black men the whole truth because it's about narrative and image building. What do you mean, bruh? Okay. Now let's go to the next comment. He says the space says just get a good job, a fine woman, a passport, and a suit. As if that's a real solution to the problem. What is the problem? That's the thing. Everyone that says solutions doesn't want to identify what the problem is. Now, whether if your problem is just that black men are just fucking losers, learn how to be winners, then you know, at least that's you pointing out what you perceive as the problem. You know what I'm saying? You might have people who disagree with that, but you have a lot of people that just say this and say that and don't point out what the actual problems are. Oh, we don't have any power. Okay then. Why not? I mean, in order to establish any level of power with other people, you have to establish some level of power within yourself. The problem is that black men aren't moral men. We need to seriously address our dereliction as men. Like what? Okay, we need details. What we are thieves, we're murderers, we mistreat the women. I mean, many of these things have been addressed over and over again to the point of desensitization. Is that we hear it so much, it's just like it's regular and is introduced also as stereotypes for our image. How many times do I have to hear every time one of these little discussions come up? Oh, black men need to stop killing each other. How much do I hear that? How much I hear that? And I've grown up around nothing but sensible black men, and every neighborhood that I've been in that is problematic like that, and is I mean, I'm not gonna say every one of them was a single mom cesspool, but I mean, shit. I mean, I'm starting to realize that that a lot of things is much deeper than that. It's much deeper. I mean, the rampant single motherhood is problematic. because people. I mean, let's just face it. People like to fuck. People like to fuck, and people don't like the responsibility of what comes with it. And when I say people, I'm not discriminating based upon gender, sex parts, biology. I'm talking about the ability to make a decision, a very conscious decision to participate in an act that will bring another life about. And if people can't even use common sense at that point, I'm just saying that's just what it is at the end of the day. Just think about it. We are coming into a time where we have much more knowledge at our fingertips. If you don't know something, you can Google it. So, Google something like, "Oh, what happens if I get pregnant?" or some shit like that, or "What happened if I stick my dick in a woman raw?" or just anything, man. A suit and a spicy Latina won't solve that. Solve what? Like, is it a solution we want, or we just want the silence of black men? We want black men to build institutions. We need carpenters. No, we need you to no, and I'm not just saying this for weather. No, we need whoever's saying that to shut the fuck up. Most of these bitches that say this are baby mamas who can't even damn motivate their kids to go in that direction. Fuck out of here with that. This space would rather focus on the women because this space, a lot of people in this space has dicks, man. I mean, what can I say? You can't stop heterosexual men from focusing on women. You can't. It's just something that it's just like we always talk about what black men need to do instead of the reality of the situation. And the reality of the situation is most of these dudes will look to a woman for wisdom and strength and all that shit, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, and the most potent example of this is, how you know, just certain content creators can kind of leech off the space, and they just happen to be females, and they'll use a lot of the talking points, and they have an overwhelming shower of praise from men because this is what men are deprived, black men especially are deprived of appreciation, and they eat that shit up. So it's a great marketing strategy. I mean, but see, everyone who says this shit though, whether and I mean, like, I'm not saying that you're wrong, but everyone who says that shit ain't been enough themselves. So what do? They resort to complaining about guys, about these whoever whoever the content creator is. It's never black men's fault. There's plenty of shit that's black men's fault. I told you. The condition of the women is because of the men. We give them too much power. Yeah, I blame the previous generation. I blame some of my generation. I say the millennials are bad with it too. It's a lot of simping, bro. A lot of letting people who take charge who should not have ever had the reins to take charge. We gotta do better. I mean, for real, as an individual black man, whether I bet you don't that I bet you hold yourself in high regard. That's what a lot of people do. They hold themselves in high regard, but everyone else, oh, it's bad, bad, bad. It's a trip, man. Every black man that says that holds himself as a black man in very high regard. We got to stop entertaining. We got to start making plans. Why is it always the niggas who always have the most destructive aura or the most destructive focus, like, "Oh, fuck these niggas here, fuck these niggas there," always the ones that sit up there and talk that shit. "Oh, we gotta get together, we got a plan." No, nigga, not with you. I may turn around one day and find a knife in my fucking bag. Like, what the fuck would I trust you for? Shoot. Yeah, yeah, I see you down at RPM. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. It's not something that's very difficult to do, and even hit the dislike button if you don't agree with what I'm saying, that's fine too. Shoot. All right, 13 likes. Yay, we getting on up there. We was raised in chaos. No, we weren't. No, we weren't. You know, my mom didn't give birth to me in a cave. With volcanoes exploding and the last of the baby dinosaurs roamed the earth. Oh man, we were not born in chaos. We were born lacking identity and being told who we are. I'll say that. Chaos, nah. We were born in a civilized society, a society with bathrooms. No, it's males that do the dumb stuff and manipulated by females to be utilities, weapons of mass destruction, and money bags. Facts. Facts. But, you know, when you got a black man saying that, hey, you shouldn't allow yourself to get manipulated, that beats the problem. Say whether it took whether it took a comment down. Well, you're not a moderator, D Scott? Thought you were. Shoot. Don't be taking people's comments down. Please don't do that. We're supposed to be brutally honest around here. Tough as nails. Tough as nails. Fuck that shit, man. Yeah. So let's see. Whenever I see teenage black boys, let me put this comment. So, nope, not a mod. Oh, okay. He said, whenever I see these teenage black boys running around committing the majority of the crimes, I first wonder where the father is, who planted seeds in these teens' mind. Not the father. So you can't blame him. Shoot. Who's planting seeds in these mind? Like the bunch of out of control niggas that don't have fathers in their home. Shoot. Look, man, look. Here's the thing that's really like starting to get under my skin, man. It's like there's three levels of accountability in the black community. Okay, the highest level of accountability, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says, belongs to black men. The second highest accountability level belongs to black children. The third and lowest is black women. Sorry, we protect our women quite a bit. And just because a few guys on the damn internet telling them the truth doesn't change any of that. Most black men will protect a black woman. I'm sorry if you stay in an area where black women are constantly in danger and they're not being protected, but it's like my question to you would be this: why are you out there protecting them? If you stay in an area like that, I don't stay in an area like that. I don't. Where the women are in constant danger and not being protected. Fuck out of here with that, man. The only way that you're in constant danger, not being protected, if you put yourself in a dangerous situation. And I'm not victim blaming either. But like I said, I know not to, if I had wads of cash, I know not to go in certain parts of town wearing it around my fucking neck. Shoot, then that means I'm asking for it. Saying get if you want protection, get where you can get some protection. 2 people to raise a child. So, okay. So, here's the thing, whether and this was a suggestion of mine. Number 1, if it's the dad's fault, let's interview all these baby daddies. Let's interview who these women are procreating with. I mean, not just to get his side of the story, which we don't ever want or are interested in, but to see who is this guy who these chicks found worthy of spreading his seed. That would answer a lot of questions. That would answer a shit ton of questions. So I'm all for holding these men accountable. But we got to see who they are. We got to see who these old top prime choices are. Shoot. And yeah, I'll make them accountable. I'm not going to say black men. I'm going to say that guy. If I stab somebody in the chest tomorrow, should you get the blame, Weather? No, you shouldn't, because you weren't the one that did that stupid shit. We debate if it's a black man's fault. Is the black man's fault in the way that you are responsible for yourself? If you are abreast to the information that leads to a certain decision being made, then you are accountable for that. It is absolutely your fault for the things that you do. Period. That's and the understanding that anyone should get. Well, all of this is Jermaine's fault, not ours. But the problem ain't whether black men are being held accountable or not, but because according to some folks in weather that black men aren't being held accountable enough. Now, who are these people who are not holding black men accountable enough? Then they will say it's black men. And I'm sorry, man. There are enough black men holding black men accountable. Yeah, because it's like those black men especially do rise in popularity among the female population. One of those guys is Steve Harvey. Now, if we're gonna use Kevin Samuels as this golden example of why black men do podcasts, if you're gonna use that one guy, Steve Harvey can be used as well. Who else? Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson, like, we need to hold these men accountable. We need to hold these men accountable. Didn't really say shit, but he became one of the most popular people for quite a few years on social media. You got Ace Metaphor. He became popular off so-called holding men accountable, holding black men accountable. If you're not paying all the bills, man, shut the fuck up. Saying stuff like that. Like, shoot. I mean, those are just 3 names. There are plenty of names out there. FD Signifier, Aaron Fountain, Lakeith Stanfield, shoot, Willie D, Bun B, shoot, and a countless number of TikTokers. There are plenty of black men that hold black men accountable. Barack Obama. Shoot. One of the first speeches. These dudes need to be there for their kids. But black fatherhood has such a bad stigma and it shouldn't. Why? Because, a few fuck niggas out there is impregnating everybody. And the choices are willing. It's not something that's being forced now. Oh, Bun B. Yeah, Bun B, man. He do talk with like a suspect lisp. I mean, for real. I was watching him one day explain his hat business, and I was like, this the guy from UGK? That motherfucker was talking like he was trying to keep his lips from being chapped. I was like, no, bro, this ain't what I envisioned. I mean, brother doing good for himself. He got a couple businesses going, which is great, but shit. Chris Rock said it best. Black men want credit for the stuff they're supposed to do. Did he say it like that? Well, they're supposed to do like what? Oh, okay. So you shit on black fathers. Okay. Shit on black fathers. So what that stigma did was, okay, every time I used to go, when my kid was a baby, every time I used to go in public and the shit used to get on my nerves. There used to be black folks looking at me like I'm doing something fucking special. Like, oh, we need to see more of that. And I swear, every time I go in a grocery store, every time I go to a mall, like every time, like even at my child's school events, all I see are black dads. So I treat it like it's something special. You know why? Because y'all like listening to the white people on television. The white man's ice is always colder. What he says is important. If we're gonna say black dads aren't there, then black dads aren't there. Not that you got a bunch of girls out there that are just little hoes that just love getting pregnant because they think this is an 18-year plan for it. Blaming the 80% of black men because 20% Tyrone breeding and walking off. Man, let me tell you something though, but let me tell you a harsh truth. That shit has always existed. There was a period where the black family was strong, but it wasn't very long. Like even in like back in the days where, black men were running from their lives from racists, and when they stopped in certain homes, they left a little something behind. A woman with a full belly. So this behavior is not recent. It's not like it had started happening in 1970. The thing is about that though is that more of those kids turned out good than bad. Women be having 12 kids by 4 different guys. But yet and still, and I mean, like, you can do the research on this kind of thing yourself. In fact, do the research within your own families. You might be surprised at what you find. But those kids were more disciplined back then and better. Why what is it that and they didn't have government subsidies. These girls with 1 and 2 kids with government subsidies can't get their shit together. Once you have a child, that motherfucker is the most important thing ever. That's it. For those of you who don't have kids, you don't have to empathize at all with me. I mean, shoot, I don't care. You don't care about me having kids. I don't care about your little life. So we'll call it even. Shoot, but we're in 2024. I refuse to believe that these females don't have it figured out the gravity of them getting pregnant. He shouldn't have stuck his penis inside me like that. You can say no. You can say no. Yeah, that it's okay to say no. If he doesn't have a condom, it's okay to say no. And if he forces himself into you, get the law involved. Shit. There's a Me Too case popping up every day. You mean to tell me you can't convince the police that you were taken advantage of? Not saying that's the right thing to do if you were willing. Shoot. But I mean, shoot, only in that case that someone actually forced themselves upon you that you should do something about it. Otherwise, you need to blame yourself as well. There's too much information out there for a woman to get pregnant without being with the man, at least. Oh, it was a one night stand and he took his dick out and I had no choice. I refuse to believe it's that simple. Shoot. And if it's that simple, why do incels exist? Like, seriously. One massive contradiction after the other. Yeah, well, I told y'all this wouldn't be very long. Who's playing the season this team's mind? I always said this. I always said this. They build up so much resentment for the baby daddy. They talk about he ain't shit, he ain't shit. What do you think the child's gonna start thinking after a while? I ain't shit either. Yeah. Go through some of these comments. Weather said I never take the comments down. Sometimes I'll say this. I'll say YouTube does take comments down depending on what's said. Like I've said some harsh things and YouTube said, nope, don't do that. Men build men. There's a significant difference between males, females, and men, women. Okay. Yeah, I know where you're going with that one. He's not around to blame, Kev. That's the point. Oh, you talking about the daddy? Well, I mean, like people just look. We live in a time where, like, okay, I used to say like 10 years ago that I don't understand why there are any new crackheads because we've seen the devastating effects of crack. So I said that like what 10 to 15 years ago. So now we have enough baby mamas out there to say to ourselves that you should not be getting pregnant without at least a living arrangement where you're staying with the guy or being married to the guy. At least you're married. That usually is the best option for the child because if you get pregnant without being married, if you get pregnant in the back seat of the car, you can't complain. Period. You can't do it. It's not possible. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Take responsibility. And another thing, STDs don't care who did it. Shoot. Keep all that shit in mind. People don't want to be responsible for shit, including themselves, including some guys too. Shit. Who has the most influence in a child's life? The present parent or the one not there? The present parent, D. Scott. The present parent definitely has the most influence. The difference maker. The person that decided to ride it all out. And for some reason, statistically, and we don't like to hear about statistics around here, is that they do better with the single dad than the single mom. Maybe it's because of the number proportionate or the fact that, kids just do better with their dads than their moms. Hey, I can if I could share people's business, I could tell you a few stories about how a lot of children would do better with men making decisions rather than women making decisions. I mean, a few prime examples of guy. I know a guy in the medical field. His family dynamic was like that. You know, the dad, the daddy took charge and shit. He was split from the mother. Daddy took the son and said, "Hey, this is where your life is going." And now he's in the medical field. How I know this is because he took that son, she took the other two kids, and one ended up in prison. The other one's alright, but kind of bitter. And I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case with each and every one of these, but statistically, we're better. I know some females that don't want to hear that shit, but I'm sorry. It's the truth. If you can't handle raising a child, give that child up to the system and the government. Because it's pretty obvious that the belief is the child has a much better chance with the government than they do with a single mom. Since, the daddy not being there, just such a X factor. These guys, it takes two people to make a child and two people to raise a child. Like I said, single mothers shouldn't, if you have that logic, single mothers should not be able to keep their children. They should not be able to use a child to milk the system, to become a crutch in their baby daddy's life. And I'm not saying, I'm not saying that he's not at fault for getting a crazy bitch pregnant. I'm just saying, shoot, D Scott for the plate. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. Okay, so here what you got to do with that question. Whether I'm going to read it. How can black men be the most involved fathers in the black community as the most single parent households at the same time? Okay, because see, people keep giving you the percentages of the guys who keep damn impregnating all the women. It's a smaller percentage of guys than women who actually have kids. Okay, so they're all fucking all the same guys. I guess only certain types of guys have swagger. Swagger enough for them. But thank you for the super chat, D Scott. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, but you know that's I would say that's a question that is a valid one. Seriously. Let's see. So backseat bitches. Yep. In the bay. If you procreate in the backseat of the car, you have no one else to blame for yourself but yourself. I was young. I was stupid. Doesn't fucking matter. That baby don't care. Fuck out of here with that. My dad was a baby boomer, so he was definitely around. RPM said the report presents basic descriptive statistics on father involvement with children living with and living apart from them in the United States. So go reread it. Okay. Southpaw 2K1 is in the building. He said single moms aren't getting knocked up by Dr. Cornel West and Neil deGrasse Tyson's of the world. Oh boy. He said, you good, Kev. Let me be an unproductive black man and drive in a circle. Said they're getting pregnant by inmates too. Man, it's a damn shame, man. There's a few stories where they got like correctional officers getting impregnated by the inmates. Like it was a story. If I could find that story, there was like four of them got pregnant by the same guy. My thing was, what do you tell your children? And you know, and whether you know what they're gonna tell their children, your dad ain't there, your dad ain't shit. You gonna be just like them. Shoot, fathers need to be there for their kids, knowing they got knocked up by some dude in prison. Samuels himself. Samuels as in Kevin Samuels? Oh boy. Yeah, man, but let's listen up, everybody. Shoot. Back to the topic of entertainment because I've probably said a lot, but I've probably said a lot of nothing too. Not to say that I'm going through a period of second guessing myself, but shoot. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But if you're an entertaining YouTuber, be an entertaining YouTuber. There are plenty of entertaining YouTubers. I mean, there's a lot of popular guys that went the buffoon route and they made a lot of money from that shit. Like, some of us, such as myself, um, we have too much pride to go the buffoon route and, making funny cuckoo noises and doing funny dances and acting all goofy just to put a smile on somebody's face or, acting real strange and making people mad and black facing ourselves and shit like that. But yeah, there are plenty of entertainers, there are plenty of people who cover entertainment stuff that have millions of subs. I mean, there are plenty of people that do that. Now, if you're looking for solutions based um content, what I would say is the first step that you have to take is to stop demonizing everybody with a good idea. Shoot, stop demonizing every black man with a good idea. Hey, here's a good idea. Why don't we start raising our kids to be more responsible human beings? Then you got half everybody talking about man, fuck them kids. Okay, but one day you're gonna be too old to carry this society. Don't do like Joe Biden. Make all these bad decisions because you know one day soon time's up. Like, you don't get to fuck this world up. My narrative about black people needing a morality sound culture is shatterproof. But it's like you want black men to look in the mirror. I understand that. Everyone needs to take a look in the mirror. I mean, seriously, take a look in the mirror and actually ask yourself, do you like what you see? I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people don't. It's not really to face that reality. So they'll come to these platforms and project. Just like that fool I was talking about Wednesday. Project. If you raise the next your president, you will be oh man. If you raise the next president. That's what I'm saying though, man. It's just man, look, the things that y- the things that I have observed and learned just by watching our people is that it seems to be a hatred for the boys. I'm dead ass serious when I say this. There's this is this hatred, man, whether you looking at them running around playing, you have that seed planted in your head, badass kids. Fuck them kids. We just have a hatred. We don't care what happens to the kids. Shit, we'll just keep sending them to people like Jerry Sandusky. And then, wonder why they have some mental imbalances and they committing crimes in the neighborhood because they were abandoned. Some kids are abandoned and both parents be in the damn house. We just have a disdain for black boys. We just do. Every time you talk about doing something for black boys, somebody got to throw a wrench in that shit. It doesn't help that, it seemed like the creepier guys got more swagger and keep impregnating these girls and abandoning their kids. Cause see, when you say it like that, you can't really put it on whether he was there or not. You got to put it on whether he was the type that was father material to begin with. It might have been even worse if he was there. If his father is like, Crip Lord Jenkins, I mean, is that really good for him being there? Oh, I feel some value. Crip Lord Jenkins and Boone Quisha are my parents. I'm gonna be all right. Go P. The God. Thank you for the super chat. Kev, money for the plate. Also a question. Are my comments coming through, sir? You passed a number of mine speaking off to the subject. Yeah, I passed quite a few of everybody's comments. But Gold P, let's see. Like that. Okay, let's say Chris Rock said that. Brothers want it because historically we have been excluded from the acknowledgement of our actual ability to handle the business of family. Uh, okay. Uh, need more. I need to remember who said what. Uh, let's say brothers want it because we historically. Oh, you must be talking about the piece where we get any sort of validation or credit that we get, or you talking about what Chris Rock. Oh, okay. You was going back to what Weather said. Chris Rock said it best. Black men want credit for the stuff they're supposed to do. And then you turn around and say, okay, let's say Chris Rock said that brothers want it because we historically have been excluded from the acknowledgement of our actual ability to handle business of family. Yep. Yeah, we got that stigma. We're the deadbeat dads. Every time somebody makes a joke on social media, yeah, like some tell me you're white without telling me you're white. And then, the guy cut to the scene of the white guy. Okay, let me show you. Hey, sons. And then the sons come out of nowhere. Hey, dad. Like, yeah. Then you got black people in the comments laughing. Oh, I'm black, and I thought that was funny. Nah, it's because you're a fucking wuss. But yeah, understand that. Go P. See, so I'm not passing comments on purpose. I'm just kind of like letting people handle. Shoot, that's the last thing I seen from you, Gold P. Seriously. So maybe some of your comments aren't coming through. So let's see. The Damie King said just being Alpha Tyrone because that's a scientist and a stepdaddy, bro. Christian roots, what in Africa? Oh shit. Done. We got Dan the Man Farino. My dad is OG Tiny Loc Asphalt the third, a future felon. Say, Kev, you're not lying. It seems like they don't want black boys, men to succeed, or at least don't want black boys' successes surpass or exceed the success of black women and girls. Man, look. I'm gonna just put it to y'all like this: as black men, we have to encourage the younger generation to get on their square because no one else is gonna do it. Because who did it for us? The younger generation of black boys, get on your square. Every black boy that actually cares about anything that I say, I'm just speaking in general. I tell them, stay in the books, bro. There's plenty of time to do everything. Get your life together. Not everyone believes what you believe. Like I said, you got to get out more. I lived in other countries and they don't view morality the same. Okay, I guess he's directing that toward weather. But mine, Tyronius Rex the 16. Did you cover the color purple recently? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I covered the color purple. I said that I thought the color purple was a propaganda film, and it worked for the most part. Also examined, the kind of people that were involved with the color purple. You know, um, Alice Walker, who was married to a white man and wrote the color purple, an inaccurate telling of Forsyth County during those times. Um, yeah, movies like that are just designed to distract you from what really went on back then. Um, Whoopi Goldberg, who defended the film, is historically one of Hollywood's biggest bad wenches. Yeah, I've said plenty. I said plenty about that film. I said plenty about both films. I went and saw the musical. The musical was almost worse than the original in many ways. But both of them served their purpose. It's like the color purple, sir. Like when we as blacks, when we receive any validation from whites, we accept it We accept it. We treat it like it's the greatest thing. It is, so Alice Walker being given a chance by Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Spielberg, black people saw that as a win. They saw it as a win. So that movie resonated with people. And why did it resonate with people? Was it really a propaganda hit piece against black men? Was it really, which is what I believe, or it resonated so hard because of other stuff? We got to start being honest with ourselves. I'm not saying that The Color Purple had any truth to it. Not saying that at all. It was a fictional account. But why did it resonate so well? I still don't get why people believe that's a great film. But there's got to be a reason for it, and I believe it's purely psychological. I think we need an eye workout. You should present a film shot. We need to break down the roles and foes each actress had. You were there that night. I think you were there that night because he talking about the woman who plays Sophia. Man, Sophia is a stereotype. She's one of those big mama stereotypes in the package of a young person that everybody was hot for some reason or another. It was a great film because it was black men's fault. Yeah, they talk about the film like it was just the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh my god, it was. Oh my god, I cried. I cried at least 6 times in the film. When talking about the original The Color Purple, do you think the ratchetness of the community would be justified or worse had it won any of its 11 nominations? It had enough impact to resonate anyway. Yeah, it was like they didn't. I'm glad it didn't win any nominations. I'm glad it did. What for? Why? Who acted that well in the film that it deserved any kind of recognition? Danny Glover, Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah, that nigga that played Harpo. Who? Suge Avery? Who exactly? Who exactly in that film did a good enough job? Shoot, Mister's dad, Adolph Caesar. Adolph Caesar was probably the only one. Color Purple, Surviving the Black Patriarchy. What? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Southpaw 2K1 just commented, as I said, at Adolph Caesar. A man said Danny Glover killed the predator with his own weapon. He gets a pass, Kev. Yeah, man. And the thing is about all the other Danny Glover films that came out after The Color Purple. I watched all the other Danny Glover films, like The Lethal Weapon, Predator 2. I was happy about Danny Glover being in Predator 2, being the main protagonist. I was happy about that. But then, like, all the years later, like, in fact, a couple years ago, I watched The Color Purple for the first time. Man, I wanted to like Danny Glover, old man, so I can't say I want to slap that nigga when I see him or something like that. But I would like to ask him, what the fuck made you do that film? He probably put up some reason like opportunity, gave us an opportunity in Hollywood to show our acting range. Shoot, black people getting jobs. You should be happy black people getting jobs. That's probably what he'll say. Dan the Man Farino, The Color Purple is held to such a high regard is because it finally highlighted the black woman as the victim in any way, even if the victimizer was a black man. Man, let me tell you something, man. This shit. This- Danny Glover was in his 50s and still killed the predator. People refuse to give him credit for that role. I mean, I liked it. Whoopi likes to take flights with children. Looks like, oh, she's not an Epstein Island visitor, is he? Is she? She ain't on Weinstein's list, is she? Man, that's why they say, man, like the art, don't like the person. Yeah, man, but it's 3:20 where I'm at, Eastern Standard Time, which I don't know what time it is in your part of the country, but if you're listening to this, I will say this. Thank goodness you're still alive. Thank goodness. And, seeing another day. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say is like, if entertainment is your strong suit, if entertainment is your strong suit and on YouTube, by all means, play on your strengths. Hide your weaknesses and don't listen to the haters. All right, black man, if we got to do better, we got to do better. But, if only if that's based in fact. But everyone should be held accountable for everything that they do, and that is no lie. A black man killed the predator must have been a fluke. Well, I mean, this movie they just had come out called Prey. I think they had a woman kill the predator, so it just progress. I'm just kidding, man. Shit. The MC the MCU is destroying itself with bad movies, but still pissed off about what they did to the Hulk. But anyway, yeah, hopefully y'all come to the smoke show tonight. I'll probably have a little bit more structure. Uh yeah, but like I said, all you guys, thank you for your continued support. And I will see you around. That's it for now. If entertainment is your strong suit, prepare your anus. Man, Cat Williams said some stuff that we've been knew or we've been suspected. I mean, if anyone watched YouTube in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, we used to have people to make content. They get together all the pictures of people making the same hand signs. I was like, this sounds like it makes a lot of sense. But and man said Damon King said a woman with a feather killed an 8-foot alien bounty hunter. What's good, American Negro? Yeah, but I'm finna get up out of here, man. Like for real. So guys, thanks for tuning in. Once again, it's always a pleasure, and I guess I'll see some of you guys tonight. Shout out once again to the replay gang. Leave a comment. And that's it. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. Don't give up. Peace. Man, seriously, a whole now I had stop.